What is a life lesson you learned far too young? Pull-out doesn't work. Speak for yourself. 3 years of pull-out. Decided we wanted a kid. First try and got one. Went 6 more years with pull-out. Decided we wanted a second after a work trip. First try and got one. Decided our super fertility wouldn't be good in case of an accident. She got fixed during the second's birth. You were one of the lucky ones. Even with perfect use, we are talking a 25 to 50% failure rate long term. No thanks. To the girls reading this, another problem with withdrawal is that it makes you completely dependent on your partner's behavior. Also, no STD protection. One mistake and it's off to the CVS to get Plan B, and you are putting yourself at risk for a serious illness. I personally think it makes more sense to take responsibility for your own birth control unless you are in a trusting, committed relationship. If you get to that point and you are willing to take the chance and it works for you, go for it. Your life is pretty damn meaningless to everybody except for those you love and love you back. This life lesson still messes me up as an adult. It's weird to think that you're just a small, insignificant speck on this earth. People usually blossom or become buried when confronted by it. How are you going to spend your time on this planet knowing you'll more than likely be entirely forgotten about in just a few short generations after your death? The bad news is you can do whatever you want with your life and it won't matter. The good news is you can do whatever you want with your life and it won't matter. You must take care of yourself. You cannot rely on others to take care of you. And get used to being alone. Learn to enjoy it. You should still make friends. Just don't be dependent on them. Right. Have friends because you want them, not because you need them. Some people really should not get married and have children. My parents. Mine too. Just because you had a hard life isn't an excuse to act like an a-hole. Be nice to your parents, they won't be around forever. On the other hand, try not to be too influenced by the toxicity of your parents. They won't be around forever and one day you'll be free. This is true. I think we've had quite different experiences. Having a good work environment can be worth more than what you are paid. I don't care if the salary is reasonable for my profession. If I don't make $1,000 a day for having an a-hole boss or dumb colleagues, I'm not working here. Not everyone who acts like your friend actually is. Death happens to everyone. Alcohol abuse leads to bad things. Lots of young girls get sexually assaulted by family members. Fire fucking hurts. Plugging a drop cord and that has been cut in half to see what will happen is not a good idea. Electrical shocks fucking hurt. Curious 4-year-olds should not be left alone. Geez, which of those things happened to the 4-year-old? The fire, the electrical shock, seeing the results of alcohol abuse, and the deaths. By the time I was 4, I had attended 12 funerals. Holy fucking shit. I'm so sorry for you. Networking is more valuable than 100 college degrees and centuries of work experience. Too true. My dad was able to retire at 40 and just be a consultant because he knows everyone. His job is taking people to lunch and making a few phone calls. Spent 6 months looking for a job. 3 interviews, 150+ applications. No offers. Eventually I just asked my mom to get me a job with the government, and I got an interview in like a week. 500 people applied for that job. Connections are everything. Parents, older people are not perfect, nor are they always good, trustworthy. Drugs, arrests, alcohol, abuse, etc. were difficult for me to comprehend when I was young and looked up to my parents. Pretty much any bad behavior is hard to handle as a kid, coming from a parent. They're supposed to be these perfect people that raise you and love you and whatever, and then you see your mom lob a full cup of tea at your dad during a fight. Really shatters the illusion. Nobody, not even your family, wants what's best for you except you. Except, good families. I dunno. I'd consider my family a good one, but they still have their own preconceptions about how I should be living my life, rather than how I want to live my life. I was going to write a version of this. My mom is a great woman and I think she truly does want the best for me. That said, it didn't stop her from marrying a borderline abusive man who would become my stepfather. Her wanting to be loved and have a partner was deeper than her concern for how it would affect me. Not that I can say I blame her. Everyone deserves to be loved, and she wanted that too. Just kind of came in a way that sucked for me. To be clear, he was borderline abusive to me. He probably disciplined me in ways that were a bit further than she would. He was definitely verbally abusive though, but I got it nowhere near what some of my stepbrothers, his kids, got. People are snakes, including your friends. They may be all cool and nice, but people want what's best for themselves, and that comes at the expense of other people sometimes. And you've really learned this life lesson when you recognize it in yourself. Most people rationalize actions, redefine terms, do whatever it takes to make their selfishness seem okay. Fascinating and scary when you catch yourself doing it. And quite sad when you realize how many times you didn't catch, or how many ongoing instances you're unable to allow yourself to see. Good point. It amazes me how much people will disregard or lie to themselves about their own motivations when acting in their own self-interest. You see this a lot in politics. I dealt with it when my dad died, and my siblings, who flaked off for years while I took care of him, suddenly acted like they visited all the time, or excused themselves for their actions. Because I'm so highly critical of myself, not saying that's a good trait, and have been in therapy dealing with my own bullshit for years, this is an area that really fascinates me. I always wonder to what extent other people believe their own selfish bullshit. That moms don't always protect you from dads. I learned this one too. I also learned that once sons get to be the biggest man in the house, that the kid can protect moms from dads. And no one protects you from moms. No one gives a shit about moms. Moms can abuse the fuck out of you and no one bats an eye. Most people don't even believe moms are capable of child abuse. Or they just call it tough love. Family is who you make it. Just because you are blood related doesn't mean you have to put up with the bullshit they bring to you. My best friend's mom has been more of a mother to me than my actual mom, and for that I am forever grateful. My mom and her family are full of backstabbing individuals who expect them to reach out to you because you're supposed to, but won't make time to call you. If they do something nice for you, they expect something in return. It's never out of the kindness of their hearts. So I cut them out long ago, my mom being first, since she lived on the other side of the country, and I have been much happier for it. I really tried to please both sides of my family, but with my mom's family, if you jump to how high they wanted you, it's still not good enough. You will never be friends for life with most of the people you come in contact with. You more just meet up every once in a while and then go months on end without speaking to each other. All these sitcoms make me feel woefully socially incompetent. Yep. Had a best friend who I loved so much. Never fought or anything like that. She moved abroad and I haven't heard from her in 5 years. She cut all contact before she went. We worked in the same building, and having to watch mutual friends go to her leaving party that I wasn't invited to is probably the cruelest thing I've ever experienced. I thought we'd be friends for life, and I still find it so confusing and hurtful. Forcing things usually leads to problems. I didn't learn this until I started fucking around with computers as a teenager. My dad would tell me, if you have to force it, you're doing it wrong, and it's going to break, with regards to everything, changing a tire, changing a P-trap, whatever. But I never listened to him and broke an expansion card, back when they cost a lot of money, before I wised up. It also applies to relationships, etc. How important exercising is. Probably the best lesson to learn too young. You will always be too poor to have nice things. Now that I am older, I have learned upwards class mobility is a lie. 90% of the time you can't escape the class you were born in. Hey, you can always go down. Now that's mobility. This is what gets me so angry at the whole "you're poor because you're lazy" mentality. Like, no, if you're born poor, you have to be either very strong, gifted, or lucky to move up. Those people are the exception, not the rule. Once upon a time, it was true, because a single full-time income from even a low-paying job could support a family. So most families only had to have one worker in the family. Now both parents need to have full-time jobs just to get by, and God help you if you're a single parent. On top of that, mental health issues, addiction, and child neglect abuse are tearing through the lower class, making it even harder to do even simple things that people from happy homes never even consider could be hard. The justice system is not fair even if you're white. It has much more to do with social status, money, than race. Whenever they compare how white people are treated by the law versus how black and other color people are treated, it's always upper middle class white guy versus poor black person. Everyone focuses on the race aspect and almost seems to ignore the money aspect unless they're using it in the phrase, rich white boy. Don't get excited for anything because there's a 99% chance you'll be let down anyways. Everybody lies and you will never truly know another person. That I'm ugly and will probably always be single. That I will only have as much money that I save and earn myself. 95% plus of your friends when you are young will not be your friends when you are older. If you've ever seen the movie Parenthood, you might remember the scene where Steve Martin finds a vibrator, and when the kids ask what it is, they say it's an electric ear cleaner. I learned soon after that when I was snooping in my parents' room that they don't make very good ear cleaners. What is a life lesson you learned far too young? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.